Peace, love, and light, guys. You got Professor O coming through with a dose of that good yoke. I'm everywhere like broken glass. I'm around like a circle. Anyway, anyhow, let's get down to this round. I'm going to the top with this, right? Just over the personal experience. Topic of today would be ask yourself why. Why, right? Because truly, those first and foremost, let's cover the infinite questions, right? There's why and there's how. Those are the only words that I know so far. And if you have any, please comment. That you can ask any question to and you can respond with those as an answer. What's your name? Why? How's your day? Why? What'd you do today? Why? What's your problem? Why? Right? Or you can say how. Man, I'm about to go to the bar. How? What's your problem? How? What's your name? How? Why don't you just leave me alone? How? You're annoying. How? I digress, right? But it's interesting is that these are two words that are two extremes, but they both on the same pendulum, right? Like two sides of a coin. Why is concerned with the reason of its existence, while how is concerned with the dynamics and the workings of the said existence. And I experienced something earlier today, which I was running a little, I put myself in these little situations where I have to learn and speculate. And based off my observation and speculation, most of my information that I'm able to receive as I observe it, is merely speculative until I have defining evidence that I'm able to pinpoint. And once I pinpoint that evidence, then I'm actually able to discern and say, all right, I understand enough, I know enough, this is what it is, and this is the evidence that backs this right here, and I'll leave it at that. If I'm too speculative and I don't have enough evidence and I can't observe any further, then I just leave it alone because I don't have time to clutter my mental real estate with things that are with too many possibilities, because possibilities are endless. So you want to really pinpoint. But anyway, I digress. So I asked myself why. And one of my questions, because I pride myself on being humble at all times. You gotta always practice humility. Why? Because it doesn't matter how much you know, how much you do. You always gotta practice humility. And please excuse me in my PJs right now, but you know, I'm fresh. I'm fresh out the shower. You know, I'm looking good. You know, I did my daily workout and take my shower. Gotta get cleaned up, and I usually put on some clothes just to kind of do the vid. But right now, I just say, you know what, I'm in PJs right now. Man. I'm calling it a day. I'm calling it a night early. I always do it. I digress. So I'm asking myself why. And one thing I'm very big on discerning emotional intellect, because your emotional spectrum has a wide range, a very wide range. Like you can feel multiple things at once depending on the development of your emotions. But if you're not able to discern your emotions, or you're not able to have understanding of what you're feeling, you'll leave yourself confused. And this is years ago I've learned this, right? But I'm just giving you an example of having emotional intellect. But one thing that always used to grind my gears is like stupidity. And I can't sit there and say that because, you know, stupidity is in the eye of the beholder, right? What's stupid to you may not be stupid to me, and vice versa. But it's giving grace and space to the said circumstance. Because it's been a point in time when, again, I myself needed grace in a position, and I may have been deemed incompetent or ignorant or even arrogant to the fact. But again, I was always confident. So I couldn't tell which one I was because it didn't really matter to me. Because if I don't know something, I'm gonna get up and let you know, you're listening, I hear what you're saying, but what are you talking about? Like, what is that? I don't understand what that means. What is that? Right? You know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna sit there and feel stupid and be shy and just be like, you know, everybody else seems to have the right answer, and if I say I don't have it, I don't know what that is. What is that? You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, why I'm going to ask you any question like that? Because number one, if I'm in a position where I'm being taught something, and if the speaker is doing the teaching, and everyone else seems to grasp it. Number one, not only do the teacher has a responsibility to be able to make sure that I am competent and aware and receiving the information so I can be able to make it applicable to my life. Also, it should show eagerness that I'm always here to learn. But I digress, I'm veering from the point. So I asked myself, what grinds my gears? You know what I mean? Like, I can understand that having patience for others, because God is giving me grace, so I do likewise. Having patience with myself, because at the end of the day, I'm a work in progress and I'm constantly developing myself. Have patience with everyone else involving myself, because at the end of the day, they may not know how I'm coming and I may not know how they're receiving, so that's fine, and vice versa. I don't know how they're coming and I don't know how to receive them until the initial meeting, etc. so forth. I digress, whatever, right? Boom, bam, bang, 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 boom. But one thing was just stupidity. And I say stupidity not in the fact that someone is lacking of information or lack of know-how. It's just when someone does something like for instance, like if somebody comes to you and it's be like, oh, yo, you gotta stay in this shirt. And you're like, yo, I put this shirt on. I didn't even eat or anything. What are you talking about? You have to stay in this shirt. I don't have a stay in this shirt. Well, you have to stay in this shirt. You know, I'm it's very fresh. I know what I'm talking. You have to stay on your shirt. So you're gonna do the stupidity, and the fact of the matter is your confidence in the stupidity, and you think it's gonna actually work on me. That is what seems to tick it, because it's like, all right, I don't know, are you that confident in your pitch, or are you that confident that I'm unaware of how you're pitching? Because that is like, wow. You know what I mean? You never underestimate anybody or anything. You know what I mean? Potentiality takes leaps and bounds, and that, me personally, that's what I feel. That's why I feel like why God loves mankind so much is because of the potentiality they carry to be able to take leaps and bounds. Remember, life isn't linear; it's geometric. It takes leaps and bounds. Things doesn't go in a step-by-step consecutive format, chronologically at least. At least dealing with human potentiality or potential in general. So involved in that is kind of like, wow, you know, like, who are you to think so, you know, confidently on a situation you don't even know, when the situation in itself holds so much potentiality? But I digress, you know, it's just, wow. So I had to ask myself why, and that was it. That was it right there. And then I also came back to realize, like, number one, I don't have control on how people perceive me, period. And I don't care how people perceive me, period. Only thing that I have control over is my ability to learn and my ability to discern and my ambition to be able to learn and discern. That's it. Other than that, I can't control anything beyond my arm's reach or the words that I've spoken. And once that's hit its expiration point, it's all in faith. And even I've had faith during my situation, but if I have something beyond arm's reach, it's up to God now. I have faith for this outcome to happen, and I know I have need of things, etc. so forth. So let it be done. But once that was just it. Right? So I had to sit back. I realized, I was doing my workout. Then it came to me. I said, oh my gosh, I'm not supposed to care about that. Because at the end of the day, if I'm concerned or, feeling a type of way because I feel like, wow, this individual thinks I'm stupid. And that's a beautiful thing, because wow, not only are you underestimating me, you're overestimating yourself. And not only are you underestimating my potentiality, you're not even fully aware of your own potential and where you're currently at. Because anyone who has awareness of potentiality in general, they begin to be humble. Simple as that. They begin to be humble at all times. Why? Because at the end of the day, they realize how much they don't know. And then they realize how much they can know. And then now the opportunities and the awareness and the possibilities start to open up, because now you've lowered and became meek towards your situation. So when I meet others that aren't meek and they aren't humble in their situation, that just is giving me room to be able to discern their current situations. Like, wow, they're very conceited in their actions and their emotions and how they are. And again, there's nothing wrong with confidence, etc., so forth. But I'll tell you this: there's always someone out there doing it. Like, they're doing it at a higher level at all times, and they're in themselves is probably way more humble. So imagine doing it at a high level, not even a high level, imagine doing it at a mediocre level, and you're just conceited and confident. And trust me, I know, because I was one of those guys that used to do that. I used to be like, yo, you can't tell me all of that. Not knowing that, yo, there's dudes doing this at a level, and they're humble about it. So then when I started to humble myself, I did in my sit-down period. Again, during my sit-down period, I went over a lot of things, and I'm going into so many other things. So let me just wrap up this story, right? Let's keep it cool, because I'm going all over the place, you know what I'm saying? In the meantime, in between time, I digress. Asked myself why. Understood that I don't have control of how people perceive me in this situation, and currently how they can receive me in the future towards it. And I shouldn't care at all. It's just, how can you... I'm not mad at the fact that you perceive me as being lesser than you. I'm mad at the fact that you're not aware of potentiality. And I have to realize I can't project my own intellect onto others, just like others cannot project their own insecurities onto me. And it was such a... I feel really good. Like, that's all I had to say. That's it. I'll wrap it up with that. Like, I just felt so alleviated. Like, it just felt, wow. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, this fetches is for the adept out there. For the pro fishing, the e-fishing, the self-fishing. The one that's always doing it, never losing, that's growing, that's glowing, that's going at all times. I see you out there, keep it up, keep it up, keep it up. Yeah. And for the haters that love looking at your boy, make sure you look at my good side, because I'm sexy. Yeah, peace, love, and light, guys. Catch you in the next video.